Welcome to Subramani. Talking of dividend and value investing and dividend growth investing, one important thing to see is why do companies pay dividend? Well, my answer is the default option for a good company is to pay dividend. So when they earn money, they know that they have to pay salaries, they have to pay interest, they have to pay taxes, and the balance which is left, the shareholders have to be compensated either in the form of dividends or in the form of growth. If a company can generate very high return on equity and return on net worth and it needs capital, it does not make any sense to pay dividend. Or if the company is strapped for cash, it is debt heavy, but the company is doing well, again it might pay lesser dividend or no dividend in case it is really in a bad situation. But the normal default option of a reasonably well run successful company is to pay dividend, and therefore that comes into our criteria for investing. It should be paying dividend. Second, you should see whether the company is able to pay dividend comfortably. So when the company has a payout of about 27% or 30% and you have a 3-4% of dividend yield, that is a good entry point, because you know that the company is likely to increase the dividends, which brings us to the third point. Is the company able to increase dividends over the last 4 or 5 years? So every year, if it is able to increase dividend by say 7%, which is average rate of inflation, or 10%, which is 50% better than the rate of inflation, then you have hit a jackpot. And the other advantages, now 3 conditions: that it should be paying dividend, it should be increasing dividend, and it should be making a small payout. Of the payout ratio should be small, which means if it's 30%. Then what it means is you have hit a good company. If you hold it long enough, say if you hold it for 5 years, the price of the share will also double. Let's assume that the price doubles. Now what happens is, in the market the yield would be still 3%, which means you would be getting about 5-6% because your cost is lower. As you keep building this portfolio for yourself, looking at companies which are paying reasonable dividend, decent growth, and increasing the growth coming into the company and therefore into the dividend, this is a sweet spot for you to build a portfolio. However, you won't always be able to get this. So sometimes you will get companies very low on the dividend amount and as a percentage, and with a high payout ratio. Actually, in these cases, what it shows is the company is confident that they have started paying the dividend. They are not very sure, so they are still making some payment, and they want to grow the dividend also. So right now they have just made a start. Don't worry, hold on to these companies. These companies will grow over a period of time. Now if you're 30 years old, what you're looking for is reasonable dividend, and the dividend being plowed back. But as you get older, you want more dividends, because you now have to live off the dividends. What percentage of your portfolio can you draw as dividends? Now this is very difficult. Like in a fixed income plan or in a debt fund, you might say, okay, I will be able to withdraw 5% or 6%. I've always held that you should be able to withdraw 1.5% less than the PPF rate. So if PPF rate is about 7%, you should be able to withdraw 5.5% from your debt portfolio. I'm not bringing taxes into play here. Now in your dividend portfolio, a percentage is difficult to say. What you should be looking at is, if I need 5 lakhs of annual expenses, does this give me a dividend of about 7.5 lakhs, the other 2.5 lakhs being a cushion? Again, not bringing taxes into play, the other 2.5 lakhs will go into buying more shares. So next year the dividend may perhaps go to about 8 lakhs including the increase, and your expenses may go up only to 5.5 lakhs. So you have again a 2.5 lakh cushion. So as long as you keep on having the cushion from say your age of 60 to your age of 73, 74, maybe 75, that's great. Because now what has happened is, assuming there was a 3% kind of yield, so you have a big portfolio and you can now start withdrawing from the portfolio. Withdrawing from the portfolio means, now let us assume that the inflation has caught up or something happened and you're spending more, so your dividend income at the age of 75 is about 12 lakhs and your expenses are also about 12 lakhs. That's fine as long as you're not dipping into the capital. So year after that, maybe you dip into the capital a little bit, but that's still okay, because you have maybe another 15 years and that is, you have enough balance left in the portfolio for you to be able to withdraw a little bit. So how do you build this portfolio? Obviously, when you're young, you look for companies which will have a low dividend yield but a high growth. And then somewhere in your 40s and 50s, you look for companies which have a reasonably high dividend yield but may not be much growth. And afterwards, somewhere in your 70s, you look for companies which have steady or zero growth but very high dividend yield, maybe 8% or 9% kind of dividend yield, typical utility kind of dividend yields, where you are sure that it will pay out very high. And afterwards, by the time you're 75 or 80, your portfolio would only have companies with high dividend yields, because the shares which you bought in your 30s and 40s, shares would have appreciated a lot more, and the dividend yield on cost may be still about 4% or 5%, but on market price may be very low. At that stage, you see which companies of yours are priced more near its maturity, so those are the shares to sell. This is how you will handle the portfolio, the dividend portfolio of a retired person. And or you will first build it, and then as a retired person you will start withdrawing from your capital somewhere in your mid to late 70s. Or what you could have also done, maybe from your age of 70, whatever surplus you have, you keep putting it in a debt fund, and knowing fully well that you will exhaust the debt fund first and then only withdraw from your capital. All those strategies can work, but largely the strategy is to build a retirement equity portfolio which gives you the freedom to say, I will not need any debt instruments. You may still have debt instruments as part of your asset allocation, but this alone should be able to feed you for the rest of your life. The greatest thing about a dividend yield portfolio during your retirement is you don't have to worry about inflation even at a later stage. However, maybe at the age of 80, you may get rid of almost all your shares and put it into some dividend ETF and start selling a little bit every month, and rather than wondering which portfolio what to sell and what to keep, especially if you're going to be handling it yourself. Thank you.